So Canva has just added 3D shapes to its design, the ones that you can rotate, which is pretty cool. Let's jump into Canva, see how we do it. So here we're starting from a blank slide. You can do it from any format that you have. We're going to the Elements tab, and then here at the bottom, we can browse categories. We can see that they've changed it up a little bit. So now they've added multiple sections, and one of them is 3D. Now if we click on this, we have an entire library of 3D objects, of which you can search at the top, but you can also just scroll down. So there's icons and stickers, characters, food, creative ones, abstract, animals. There's like a lot of things you can choose from. If we go to, for example, the nature one, we can click on see all, and this will open up an entire library with multiple different objects and shapes. So you see there's like earth, there's weather, there's animals, there's multiple different variants. So let me choose one of those that we like. Let's say this earth here with that leaf behind it. And now if we add that, we can see that there's this sort of rotational device, or this rotational button. And that means we can change the rotation of the element that we have. So we can still scale it, but we can also rotate it to any of the sides, to any of the angles. If we go to rotate 3D on top, we can see there's multiple angles. So if you want to have a straight angle from the left, from the front, from the right, we can just choose that here. So these are the preset angles that you have. So maybe top front, but then you can always just rotate it a bit more so it nicely fits in your design. You can always scale it around, position it where you want, and then you can just change the background color. Let's take a nice gradient here and change the color to, let's say, blue. Let's do a dark blue. And then we pick a lighter blue here, and let's put that to the center, swap it around so the light's in the center. And let's add some text. So I'm pressing T and I'm typing earth, making it quite large. For the font, I'm going to go for Montserrat extra bold, and let's make it white. Now you can always put that shape in the front, so it sort of overlaps with the text, which is quite a nice effect. So you can create some really cool stuff with that. And then let's add some text as well. So I'm going for the Lorem Ipsum app, quick Lorem, 3 sentences, add to design. And I'm just going to paste them here on the side. Let's align them to the other side and make them white. So you can see that you can start to create a lot with those elements. Now, of course, you can always just go to the abstract shapes and create something totally different, like a balloon style shape or an arrow that you can use. There's multiple colored ones, and you can all start to rotate around with those. I think this arrow is really cool and gives us a lot of flexibility and options to play around with. I kind of like that balloon style, so I'm definitely going to experiment more with using this in designs. I think we can really create some nice results. The only downside that I found is that you cannot really animate them. So it would be cool, like in PowerPoint, if you could sort of animate those in between the slides. So if I rotate them around and make them smaller, and if I then hover in between and do a magic move, it sort of fades. It doesn't really do that twist. That would have been cool. So maybe that's something they add later on. So anyways, this is how you can add those 3D shapes to your presentation and really start to go crazy with it. Layer with them, create some nice designs and stuff. And I'm really curious to see what you do with it. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about Canva, make sure to watch the video on screen right now.